there was a poem, and it was about going to the edge.
Who are you?
Oh, I was going to say, well, Beverly Taylor, okay? I guess I'm going to the edge already. And I thought I would say this poem because it speaks to me in this moment, at this time, and it will calm me, okay? Go to the edge. Only then can you see what is on the other side. Sometimes you fall. You may learn to take a step. You may learn to run and jump, maybe even fly from your fall. Hopefully I will soar tonight. Okay. I came to the Taoist Center about 3.5 years ago. I'm a little off on time. And I had just averted kind of a health crisis and was looking for a new way to exercise, okay? An alternative. I was also quite pleased that I could get acupuncture treatments on a Saturday. That was a big thing for me. And when I came, I took the Qigong 5 animal play class. Okay, kind of a movement, medical, mind, body, spirit is what it addresses. And I went to the edge a couple of times in that class. In the beginning, the first time from a movement, I guess I had some blocked chi, some blocked energy. And it got unblocked, but it also, one of those rare times when I felt a little faint, okay? The other time was in a movement where we were pushed to go to the edge with our body, and I felt myself right there on the edge, and at that moment, there was such exhilaration, euphoria, and I was open to the possibilities. And so I kind of walk with that, the possibilities, and going to the edge and not being afraid, not being fearful. I started going to the New Year's meditation, and I kind of got really into that, welcoming the new year in meditation, in stillness and fellowship with the community of people here. This is a most welcoming place. People are very friendly and from all sorts of backgrounds. And what I loved about this place too was that it didn't make any difference, Catholic, Jewish, whatever you were, you could come here and be present and learn, okay? You could get your physical self nurtured, you could get your mind nurtured, and you could have your spirit nurtured. And so at the Taoist Center here, you have Chinese medicine, okay, the practice. You have the martial arts, and there's all kinds. And there's a flyer out front if you would like to see what's offered here. You could also do the Taoist studies, which is the last Friday of every month, like this is. This is one of them. We can come and learn about the Tao and have a wonderful meditation and fellowship afterwards. And so I found a certain peace coming here and have just enjoyed meeting new people and growing deeper in my understanding. This is a very deep subject. It's a deep, deep well, and I feel like even after 3 years, I am just at the surface, so, but wanting to know more. And so I welcome you tonight, and if there's any people who are new here, if you would like to tell us why you're here, we'd welcome that. You don't have to.
Hi, my name is L'Oreal, and I'm here to, just curiosity to be here with my brother, and we have some experience before with Taoist meditation.
Thank you, Bev. Thank you. It's the first time she did MC.
I went to the edge.
and beyond. Welcome, everybody. I usually give a little brief explanation or talk about Taoism, so you have some sense of what goes on here.
I forgot to introduce you.
It's okay.
You can read the back. He's incredible. Can I just interject one other thing?
Sure.
You must come to some of our gatherings. This man does a salsa and teaches salsa. You wouldn't believe, okay? He's also tango, okay? And he's done body sound, okay, movement, performance. So there are a number of aspects to him that you must come and join us so you can see more. Okay.
Thank you. For private salsa lessons, please stop me after class.
I want the tango.
Once again, welcome everybody. Tao. The character Tao is the radical in Chinese is written as the self that moves beyond yin and yang differences. The operative word is the self that moves. In other words, don't say still. Moves, transform, change, transport, whatever. Move beyond yin and yang. So we say initially there's a state of being. The state of being is called wuji. Some of you heard this already, so bear with me. Wuji is a state of being where all things are in the state of potential. Nothing is actualized. So you are in a space where, like that. So that's the space of Tao. And then you have a awareness of that state or that space. Beautiful baby. They had a Taoist wedding. And this is their baby. First time I seen the baby. 2 years ago. Sweet. Where was I?
State of being.
Wuji, state of being. Good. If you recognize that recognition is called Taiji. So you say, I recognize what he's saying, I recognize that state of Wuji. That recognition separates you from that total experience of all potential that's not actualized, not concretized, not realized. So Taiji is that space where you say, Then we say that makes you become aware of trillions of things. That is about everything. And that about everything is consciousness, is awareness. And that helps you start to divide or name tall, short, hot, cold, me, you, they, us, so on and so forth. So we say with yin and yang, all things are born. But we say yin and yang is really an illusion, because yin and yang is an awareness of this moment. Awareness of another moment may be different, or a different perspective. Each one of you are looking towards me. It's a reality. But each one of you sees me differently. Therefore, who am I as a reality to you? We say, all of this is an illusion. All of this, all your views, all this presentation is an illusion. What does it come from? Not from me. It comes from you. You're the seer. You're the one that experiences. You're the one that recognizes. You're the one that names. He is, so on and so forth. All the naming becomes yin and yang in Taoism. So we say, okay, it's all right to understand that, to play with it, but don't get trapped, don't get caught, don't get bound by it. If you do, you're stuck. So we say walk between differences. Not that you don't move. You move, but you move in a way that's not attached to praise, or blame. Someone told me once, Alex, you feel tall because you stand next to somebody who's short. Oh. So you feel short. You stand next to somebody who's tall. It's all an illusion. So we say, don't get trapped with that. That's the foundation of Taoism. Understanding that everything is in a state of potential. And it comes from nothingness. Nothingness. So it's a practice to go backwards and recognize this is my creation. Beyond this creation, I also reside in the space without this influence. Influenced by my eyes, influenced by my smell, influenced by touch, influenced even by the mind, thoughts. What's been taught to me, what I've experienced in life. I say go beyond that and reside in the space where you are one. You are. Or I am. I am this. That's the foundation of Taoism. There are many kinds of Taoist practices, depending on your individual interests. Some people like to do meditation. Meditation is one of the easiest way to access the space of Wuji, the space of yourself. Some people like to do movement, Tai Chi, Qi Gong. It's fine. Some people like to do ritual. Ritual is a way to gain your appreciation of your own gratitude. No ritual has any meanings unless there's gratitude behind it. And what is your gratitude? It's as simple as having gratitude. I remember once I went somewhere far away and I had time by myself, and I had this epiphany, this recognition, oh, I love everyone. I came back, I love you, I love you, I love you. People look at me like, you're nuts. And I was like, in the beginning, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why couldn't I resonate? Why couldn't they resonate with this great feeling of abundance of love and compassion? And I realized after a very short time that it's not important what they recognize or what they give back, how they respond. It's important that I have this feeling. So when we come into this space, we usually bow to this space, not expecting this space to bow back to you in the same way. We show gratitude that this space exists. We thank the space. We thank the teaching. We say there are 3 treasures on the outside, 3 treasures on the inside. The 3 treasures on the outside, one is the Tao. Tao, the self, the understanding of the self that moves beyond differences. Tao, moves beyond yin and yang. Second treasure is the treasure of sutras, words. Words that can influence you. Oftentimes sutra, we say the word sutra because sutra is very short. Words like I love you is very short, but it means a lot. So sutras are, by definition, open-ended statement. Meaning, it's used differently in different situations, but they enlighten you. They awaken you. So that's a gift, a treasure. The third treasure is a treasure of a teacher. Someone who inspires, awakens you. Okay. It could be anything. It could be a falling leaf, it could be a breeze of wind, it could be a sound. Anything that awakens you. The other day I was driving, going to CCC, Contra Costa College, where I was teaching a Qigong class, a wonderful Qigong class, wonderful people in there. And as I was driving, going towards Richmond, a seagull came towards my window and went off to the side, almost hit the window, and I was like, whoa. You know, what's this message? What's the bird trying to tell me? Is the bird trying to hurt himself? Is danger in front? Maybe the bird's just trying to wake me up. Well, if the bird is waking me up, it is I who's awakened. So maybe I'm also awakened to the bird existence. Maybe, just maybe, I'm awakened to all of this. I'm awakened to this. So I said, well, come on now. It's kind of far-fetched, isn't it? It's kind of big to think I have created. Geez. Jesus Christ, Bodhisattva. So I said, bird. And as I said, bird, between my fingers, far away in the sky, a bird appeared. I said, okay, you convinced me. I'm awakened to the fact that I'm awakened. And if I'm awakened without, what's the word, without willing it, it happens. So it's a matter of yes and no at the same time. And I said, yes. That's Taoism. The three inner treasures are Jing, the essence. Essence. And essence, the character essence is written as clear rice, green rice, ready to be planted, nourish, and grow, to be harvested. As we say, in the fields, in the dantian. And the second treasure, inner treasure, is a treasure of understanding of the experience of qi, energy. And many kinds of energy. There are many kinds of energy. There's thoughts, certainly cosmic energy, certainly hot and cold, body's energy, movement. There's a nutritional energy for our body that nurtures us. There's protective energy that guards us against pathogenic factors, or we call it evil influences. So understanding of qi and transformation of jing into qi as a practice. So first you must recognize what your jing is, and then you must recognize what your qi is. And then we transform all of that into this realm, in the sphere of spirit. Because Tao is spirit qi. Tao is spirit qi. To understand Tao, you must understand your spirit qi, spirit energy. So all cultures have this, not just here. All culture has that in essence. Your spirit self is you. And that has no name, that has no form, it has no substance. If it is, those substances are what we call illusionary. And that's the sort of the understanding and practice of Taoism. I was teaching the class, and a student wrote, we had a midterm, and in the midterm she wrote how wonderful Qigong was, and she understood yin and yang, she understood the space of Wuji. So I told her there's also only one comment I want to make. I said, go beyond Wuji. Go beyond the great void. And she says, how? And I said to her, you're asking me? Those who don't know, there's a story about this. Everybody knows the story? I'll tell the story. Thank you. A teacher was teaching a class. when the student asks a question, what is Tao? And the teacher says, are you asking me? And the student says, yeah, you're the master, you're the teacher. I just want to know, what is Tao? The teacher says, why don't you ask me? But I just did. And you said, why ask me? I said, the teacher says, no, not this me. This me that's within you. So the student, when I said to the student, why don't you, are you asking me? She said, yes, you're the teacher, you're the master, you're the one who knows this. I'm here in class, you know. I said, oh, I'm the master, I'm the teacher. What a nice hat you've given me. And she went like this to herself. She says, oh, I have the hat. I said, right on. So one of the most difficult part about Taoism that I found is that you've got to do the work. I find that to be frustrating. A little laborious sometimes. So, in this class, talking about this hat and everything, one other student said, well, how do you do this? And I said, don't be attached. Wuji is a state. It's a term, it's a concept, it's an understanding, it's an experience. Don't be stuck, even with that. She said, okay. I said, good. And she said, is that easy? I said, yes. Is that easy? We say everything is 一念之差, one thought apart. Everything is only one thought apart. So when you meditate and you're drifting into forever, everland, just have one thought. It will bring you back. But in the practice of meditation, you learn to, what we say, 忘我, forget I. You learn to forget. You practice forgetfulness. You practice letting go. Letting go. They've done a research on centurions, people who live over 100. And there are a couple common denominators. One, they're still walking. So make sure you do your Tai Chi or your ping pong or golf, whatever. Make sure you have your legs if you want to be over 100. If you don't want to, then do I care? No. Second denominator is that they're all working still. They all actively engage with something, something, you know. Curators for a museum, picking plums, grapes, whatever, babysitting, you know, they're all working still. Third common denominator is that they get lost easily. I lost my house, it's all right. I lost my wife, it's all right. I lost my left leg, it's all right. I have a very good friend who I've seen only occasionally, like once every 10, 15 years. Very dear to me. He was in Germany, he was German, and he was visiting something. He was under a lamppost, a car ran into him and severed his leg. And I saw him, I said, hey, how's it going? He says, you know, it still hurts. I still have memories of sensation. But you know, he says, quoting him, shit happens. So, let it come, let it go. Let it come, let it go. Today, I was teaching And I drove my car and I left my lights on. So I came back to the car, my remote control wouldn't open the door. I thought, well, maybe this is a college. I thought maybe some college students are experimenting with some tricks and, you know, disabling my electrical connection to the car. So I have no remote control because I've lost connection electronically to the car. And I was fretting over it, like, who do I call? AAA, Geico? My mind went on. Then I heard this, oh, maybe it worked. So I opened the door, and I thought to myself, you know, I should probably go find somebody and get a cable charge the battery. I said, if I close the door and this wouldn't work again, I couldn't get in the car again. I couldn't charge the battery. I couldn't open the hood. So I started, you know, my mind started going. That was funny. What should I do? What should I do? You know, I call a friend of mine. Look at, can you come jump my car? I'll sit here and wait for you. My friend says, don't you have a key? I said, wait, yes, I do have a key. If you have a key to knowledge, you don't need remote control. I said, okay. So we say, in Taoism, you need to recognize your nature, and recognize your life. So life is like this thing here. Nature is something a little different. Nature is more like sort of your inner being that you always connect with, and it's true to you, and you're true to it. And there's no questions. You live with it without any arguments or questions. It is your nature. So we say you need to cultivate both of those. Cultivate your nature, recognize your nature. So the story goes, and some of you heard this already, about the monk who picked up a poisonous snake, who was wounded and wants to nurture the snake, and all the monk's friends tell the monk, don't do this, this is a poisonous snake. Its nature is to bite you and poison you. Nurtures, you know, the snake, feeds the snake, and snake gets well, and snake bites him on the way out. So his friend said, I told you so. Why didn't you listen to us? Snake is poisonous. His nature is to bite you and pass the poison on to you. And the monk said, you know, I don't expect the snake to change its nature, nor do I expect myself to change my nature. So find out what your nature is. There is no right or wrong. If you're asking for approval or even permission, you're in the wrong place. There is no right or wrong. We walk between the lines of right or wrong. There's only you. There's only you moving. We say, comes the cookie lady. She truly is just for the cookie. So wonderful thing. Cookie lady. Call her cookie lady. Where was I?
There is no right or wrong. Walk between the lines.
Where was I going with it?
There is no right or wrong. Your nature is your nature.
So we say, asking me? Am I asking you? I'm just asking. I ask my father, what am I doing here? You know, what's my goal? What's my nature? What am I doing here? Why am I born? Why did I come to this country? Why was I born in China? I moved to Taiwan. Why? My father says, is to ask question. You're here just to ask questions. So I asked him once, I said, there's a poem. The poem says, as if Guan Yin snipping a flower. As if Guan Yin is the goddess of mercy. All forgiving, all understanding, transcending all, like representing pure love. But pure love in a very clear way. There's another story about Guan Yin, some of you know, about the third eye of the Guan Yin. Who knows the story? Oh, good. Yeah, I tell her, you'll probably remember it. Where was I?
Guan Yin snipping a flower.
Thank you. Just make sure you're on track. And like my father wouldn't answer me. He would talk about, talk hours about something that I had no idea what he's talking about. Like, I just need to know what this poem means, as simple as picking a flower by Guan Yin, goddess of mercy, vegetarian, and all of that. Mercy, love, picking a flower. Isn't that killing life? It disturbed me. That was his answer. Huh? And as years went by, this become clearer and clearer. We say, don't have a chop suey heart. Well, I say. Don't have a chop suey heart. Don't have zanian, miscellaneous thoughts in your heart. If you have no miscellaneous thoughts in your heart, all is pure. And if all is pure, you're not concerned with, am I? Am I not? Am I? Am I not? So we say, live in the space of wu wei. Wu wei means not for the sake of. Not for the sake of. Not for the sake of whatever. Not for the sake of. Wu wei. Move, act, be. Not for the sake of. Just do what you want to do. Whether you do or you don't, there are consequences. So live with it. Get over it. It's like the karmic wheel. You don't have to be ground up in it. You can observe it. And in time you can actually say, let me transcend this. I was talking to a student the other day, and she says, no, you cannot do that. I said, yes, I can. She says, no, you cannot get rid of your karma. I said, why not? Why not? Why not? Let karma play by itself. Become an observer of that vehicle of transformation. Try it. Yin and yang. We say yang is that which is active. Yin is that which is still. Yang is that which is warm and fiery. Yin is that which is cool and fluid. They need each other. Sunshine needs the moisture. The moisture needs the sunshine to transform into moisture. So in our body, in the cosmos, is an interdependent relationship. So we say understanding that interdependency, like the 5 phases, the 5 elements, the 5 walks, the 5 paths in traditional Chinese medicine, allows you to have understanding of interdependency and interaction, interwoven movements, and intercoexistence. That we are all these elements, and we can move with the play of these elements. So those who study Chinese medicine will understand what I'm saying. If you don't, read a book. Get yourself familiarized with Chinese medicine. It's a good thing because its foundation is Taoism. Foundation of Tai Chi and Qigong is Taoism. So if you want to understand Taoism, you can taste some of the tapas that Taoism offers. You know, like Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, physiognomy, understanding of Tianwen Dili, the logic of the earth and the poetry of the sky, learning how to do feng shui. These are all nice morsel gifts that you can taste to gain an understanding of the experience of being with Tao, being with yourself. In Taoism, we say, you are what you practice. So the practice and the understanding of Taoism is constant. We were doing Tai Chi the other day, and we push each other around to see whether energetically, in Qigong class too, energetically you're present. And always somebody says, oops, I'm not ready. And we say, be ready. Be ready. Be ready always. Always have access to yourself. Always have access to your core. Always have access to your passion. Have access to it. Make it available to you. Any second, any moment. Make forget I available. No. Forget I. Not so hard if you practice. Practice breathless state. I have a wonderful story. Would you do me a favor? In room 6, next to the chair, there's a white binder. Just bring the binder. There's a story in there by one of the students. You know the story, right? A master comes in and says, I am passing the lineage of this tradition to my student tonight. And he holds in his hand a flower. And one student laughed. And the flower goes to the student. That was the lineage holder. Be natural. 自然, the word natural, 自然, self, let it be. Thank you. Self, let it be. Let it be self means natural. Thank you. That's probably with my red cup. It's okay. She has a joint disease where her joints are extremely loose. All the joints can dislocate very easily. And she wrote in her paper, including her nose. So she's come to the Qigong class and learned that you can go to a space, which is what I teach, called breathless state. And we have inhalation, breath. We have a period of transition, breathless. Then we have a period of exhalation, breath. So we say, explore this breathing. At the end of your breath, explore beyond and reside there for a while till you're ready to exhale. When you exhale, go to the edge. Go beyond. Live in the state of breathlessness. Whenever you're ready, transition happens. We say of the extreme of yin. At the extreme of yin, there is a spark of yang. There is a spark of yang. So in meditation, what you're looking for is the extreme and beyond, because a spark happens within that space that takes you to another place. That's why we always, in our physical practice, in our mental practice, in our meditative spiritual practice, we learn to go to the edge and beyond. If you don't go to the edge, you don't know what's on the other side. Learn to go there. And learn to reside in a space that you haven't been before, that's elusive to you. Learn to reside in the space that's elusive to you. If you have pain, go there, visit. It's a message. If you have emptiness, go there. It's a nice place to visit. If you have breath, understand the process of breath. Go beyond and learn the breathless state. Through this practice, she can eliminate her pain in all her joints. She says most of it. But she's practicing every day this thing called breathless state. And she also learned the monkey form. And anybody not know the monkey form? Who knows the monkey form? I know a few people in this class are not admitting they're monkeys. Those who have studied the monkey form, please show me the monkey. There's no monkey in the room? Come on. These students are fired. I mean, shall we? I asked you, shall we? What is a teacher for when the teacher can't ask you to do something? Shall we? I mean, who is shall we? What is this? These students have been studying for a while. They enjoy the class, they love the class, and here I ask them to do a demonstration, they're like, shall we? I don't get it. What kind of teacher is this that trains students like that? I don't get it. I'll repeat the question again. Anybody here knows the monkey form? Could you please demonstrate for those who haven't seen the monkey form what a monkey form looks like? I know you're not the only one.
I was about to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No. All the monkeys. What are you guys doing?
Oh, it is me. Okay.
All the monkeys. Don't be scratching yourself. Monkey. Monkey. Come on, monkeys. Oh, Jesus. Then be a shy monkey. Act like a shy monkey. Thank you. Okay, good enough. Yeah. I'm not that convinced you're like a real monkey yet. Monkey brings laughter and joy. If you can't make the audience laugh, you haven't done your job. You haven't practiced much. This is called morphing. You need to be able to morph from one animal to another animal. In the tiger form, there are two eyes of the tiger, two gazes of the tiger. First gaze of the tiger is, I am. I am. So the tiger looks around and says, who is not? Who is not? If you're not, you're my din-din. As simple as that. Who's not? So the tiger looks around. This is the first gaze. So everybody's a tiger in the room, just like everybody's a monkey in the room. You don't have to be shy about being a monkey. We all came from somewhere. No big deal. Don't hang on so proud of your humanness. It's overrated. All the problems you have with physical illness and mental troubles and emotional waves. Overrated. Give me a break. Go beyond humanness, please. So being a monkey is not so bad. The second gaze of a tiger is, you're not in my eye. You're not in my eye. So the tiger looks around and says, you're not in my eye. You're not in my eye. And you're not in my eye. And some of you understand me, some of you don't. You're not in my eye. You're not in my eye. You're not in my eye. You're saying I am, but I'm saying you're not in my eye. 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 Understand? So you have to have an attitude or a gaze of you're not in my eye. It takes a while to understand this. But you have to understand it. Once you do, you can possess that gaze of a tiger. You're not in my eye. And the unique thing is that you're not in my eye doesn't mean you're not in my eye. It doesn't mean you're not in my eye. It means you're not in my eye. Where was I?
You're not in my eye.
The two different gazes of
No, we're talking about the young girl. The young girl with the joint issue.
Right.
Yes, yes. That was what the story originated from. Like they say in baseball, you got to follow the ball. Or basketball. It was a football. I don't remember. It was a ping pong. Bowling. It was bowling. So this girl is practicing breathless state in the monkey form, and her grandfather, who was like 80-some years old, saw this exercise and teach me, the grandfather says. And the grandfather has emphysema and asthma and hasn't actually been out of the house for years. So started practicing this monkey qigong, and now he's walking outside doing walks. So this young girl was so pleased. And she also teaches a class for ESL, English as a second language. So the people in her class don't speak English. So she uses the monkey form to communicate. I love it. A wonderful absorption of knowledge. And possessing it and being with it and using it and not shy about it. Don't be stuck in shyness. It's also overrated. We say, don't let your senses bind you. Don't let your intellect, your mind bind you. Go beyond. Look with a different pair of eyes. Look for an inner eye. Hear with inner sound. Be with your inner self. It doesn't mean there's nobody out here. It doesn't mean there's nobody out here. It means I am. I am. I am. So that's this Taoism.